And now a fresh controversy and a blame game between the Finance Ministry and the External Affairs Ministry over not filing an appeal after Lalit Modi's passport was returned to him in August last year. It was the Delhi High Court that asked for his passport, in fact, to be restored. Now sources have told NDTV that it should have been the External Affairs Ministry's decision to appeal against that verdict, while the MEA says it was the Enforcement Directorate's call as they were fighting the case, and the ED, in fact, comes under the Finance Ministry. Well, for more on that, we do have NDTV's Nidhi Razdan and Sandeep Fukan joining us. Nidhi, first to you. Now, this latest blame game, what more details can you give us?
Well, this is basically now two central ministries that are virtually at war with each other. Each is pointing the finger at the other about who should have filed this appeal. You've now had the Congress jumping into it with former Minister Anand Sharma saying that it should have been a collective decision where the MEA, in consultation with the Finance Ministry and Home Ministry, should have filed this appeal. But what Finance Ministry sources are saying is that it was the MEA that was primarily the respondent in this case. It was it was their name on the affidavit. They were party to the case in court, and therefore the MEA should have filed the appeal. MEA sources, however, say that that is not the case, that while they are a party to the case in court, that's only a technicality because the passport division comes under them, but the investigation was being handled by the Enforcement Directorate, which comes under the Finance Ministry, and that the MEA was just their handmaiden, as one official put it. And therefore, if the Finance Ministry had wanted the MEA to appeal, they should have just said so, and that they would have done so, that they were simply acting at the ED's behest and that they were not the nodal investigating agency. Therefore, that is where it currently stands. Clearly, major political overtones to this, given the sensitivity of the two ministers involved as well. There seems to be, it appears, an internal BJP battle that is very clearly now playing out as well. Bani.
All right, Nidhi, and in fact, let's go straight across to Sandeep, who joins us. Sandeep, we just heard the Congress saying that there was indeed a valid blue corner notice when Sushma Swaraj actually helped Lalit Modi.
That's right. Well, in fact, this is the point that we've been reporting since last evening, Bani, that as Nidhi was saying, that there seems to be, the two departments of the same government seems to be at war with each other. Ministry of External Affairs saying that, look here, we only handle the passport, but the offences, the alleged offences that have been committed by, allegedly committed by Lalit Modi, all are economic offences and all fall under the Enforcement Directorate. So if anybody who should have appealed, it should have been the Enforcement Directorate. On the other hand, Enforcement Directorate says that that's not the case. It should have been done by the MEA and it should have been done, as far as we are concerned, we've pursued with our investigation, and it should have been done by the MEA. Now, the Congress has jumped into this, and they say that two things. One, that the government is a collective, what we've been reporting for a while, that, so it's not as if that, there are two different governments of two different countries. It's a collective. There are two different departments. There is a process. The process is that once the case was lost by the Ministry of External Affairs in Delhi High Court, they should have consulted the Home Ministry and the Finance Ministry, and then they should have filed an appeal in the Supreme Court. That's one. The Congress alleges that this was by default. The decision not to appeal against the Delhi High Court order was by design and not by default. It's not as if that somebody forgot about it or, there was a lapse or an oversight on the part of someone. Anand Sharma quite clearly alleged that this was by design. They wanted to help Lalit Modi, as it were. And that's the reason every day, this story seems to be throwing up new demands from the Congress every day. So one day they would target Prime Minister Modi. Today they say that there should be a special investigation team monitored by the Supreme Court to find out all different aspects. What was the involvement of the Home Ministry? What was the involvement of the Finance Ministry? Who at the government took the decision not to appeal? All these facts should come out, and there should be an SIT monitored by the Supreme Court. That's what the Congress's latest demand is. Yesterday, of course, they had 10 questions. Day before yesterday, they had 11 questions. So every day, something or the other coming up, really. The Congress is trying to come up with something or the other every day to try and embarrass this government.